I will never put myself in that position because I don't care.
Oh, okay. You'd never put yourself in that position. So if I asked you, do you believe in human rights? Do you think like people should have a right to, you know, not be murdered? I can guarantee you'd say yes. Then that would violate that principle you just espoused, that I would never, you know, try to push society in a certain direction to get people to act a certain way. Yeah, you would. You believe in human rights. So what is he fucking talking about? So he's already, this is his dumb way of saying animal rights is a trivial topic, and I'm not going to really have an opinion either way, or I don't believe in the idea of giving animals rights because I just think their lives are trivial. That's what he wants to say, but he's not saying it. But that's the implication of what he's saying.
Okay, now let's go to the pub, right? That's how opinions used to unfold. Now it's...
Yeah, so this is an oxymoron. He's saying, I don't have an opinion on meat eating or veganism. I just say, you know, do whatever you want to do. That is in and of itself an opinion. He's saying he's fine with people perpetrating a Holocaust. So that is, and by the way, this guy also eats meat. So that says it all. You have the opinion that you believe meat eating is morally acceptable. You can't say you don't have an opinion either way. You either think it's acceptable or you think it's not acceptable. You can't get away from this by saying, oh, I don't have an opinion.
There was a tweet you made where you kind of got a bit of flack. You address it in the book. I think the tweet was, a cow is a biological machine invented by humans to turn grass into steak. And people kind of saw that as either condoning what was happening to cows or condemning it, which wasn't the point you were making, right?
Yeah, I just thought people would say, well, that's interesting. First, that we invented cows.
If somebody were to make a claim stating black people are, I don't know, slaves that are good for doing white man's bidding, does that not, like, suggest a number of other beliefs, like racial superiority, black inferiority, like totalitarianism, fascism? Him saying that cows are biological machines made for turning grass into food, and then him going back and saying, I wasn't making any kind of ethical claim when I made that. Like, fuck you, you lying turd. Like, just own up to what you say. Just, if you have, like, a fucking opinion, just own up to it. As soon as he gets criticized or any pushback, he does this, like, bullshit weaseling out of it and anti-intellectual jokes. I can't stand this guy.
Other, you know, or people, and so, and the...
Sorry, you're telling me? I wish I was the one doing this interview. You're telling me, after saying cows are biological machines made for turning grass into food, you're telling me somebody messaged you or commented on that post saying, wow, I never thought about it. I'm going to eat less meat or stop eating meat together. Wait, what's the chain of reasoning where hearing that, where you dehumanize these animals, humanize in quotations, but you're degrading them from, you know, these conscious, like, sentient, feeling creatures to just sacks of fucking meat that you can do whatever you want with. Where's the chain of reasoning behind that idea? They're just sacks of meat that we can do anything we want with, to giving up on meat eating. Like, this guy is such a fucking liar. Just a lying turd. He's such a fucking disgusting slimeball. Oh my god, I think he's even worse than Destiny, honestly. Like, at least Destiny, when he says shit like this, he'll own up to it and say, yeah, I don't think animals deserve, like, any moral consideration. This fucking jackass, when he realizes he said something stupid that's incredibly insensitive, he'll be like, oh, well, I didn't actually give my opinion. I was just giving, like, some sort of, empirical take on this. Like, I can't stand him.
I'm a public figure, so my opinions carry vastly more weight than I want them to.
Yeah.
Because
No. What he means by that is if I say something stupid, I'll get criticized for it. And I don't like that. I don't like getting criticized, so I'll use weasel words and not, like, just own up to anything I said whenever I get the least amount of criticism.
it says, how do you feel about this? Watch. They say, and I feel this way. Then there's a headline, Tyson wants you to do XYZ elemental P, when that's not what I said.
Yeah, what a horrible thing. Imagine if he fucking publicly stated killing animals is wrong, and then somebody made a fucking, like, article or Twitter post saying, hey guys, Neil deGrasse Tyson thinks it's wrong to kill and eat animals. Imagine how horrible that would be. What the fuck is the problem here? Like, really? People saying that you don't like the idea of murdering innocent animals is a problem for you? Go fuck yourself.
But I don't have a goal to impart my opinions on others. But it comes across that way if someone asks me my opinion. And because I'm not part of movements.
He absolutely has a goal of imparting his opinions on others. This is the same guy who tried to argue for NASA to install a space telescope in Hawaii, which would have had to be built on sacred land, and he was trying to convince the people there, including Jason Momoa, that they should give up on their religious and spiritual beliefs and rely on science and allow NASA to do this. So he does this all the time. He tries to push his opinions on other people and convince him of his ideals. He does this all the fucking time. He's just fucking lying right here.
To get one group's opinion to change the views of.
Is this fucking jackass honestly saying if the apartheid was still going on, he wouldn't be against the apartheid, and he wouldn't publicly disavow the apartheid? Like it's just insane what he's saying. Just so stupid.
Of another group. I don't belong to any of these groups. So that's one point of have you really thought it through that I make there?
Yep.
And I'm not offering opinion.
Have you really thought it through? Oh, I'm not offering an opinion, right? You just stated that the actions of vegans are not in line with their ethical beliefs, and you're implicitly stating that because they're hypocrites in some way, that makes it okay for you to eat meat. That's what is implicitly coming across here. But now, here we go. I know my opinion's stupid, so let me see. How do I get away from any criticism? Oh, I'm not giving an opinion here. That's, like, not my belief. I'm not suggesting anything. La, 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 la. Like, that's what he's trying to do.
I
agree that
Let me tell you what you are. You're a moron. That's not an opinion. That's a statement of fact. I only state the facts. I don't give opinions. Tyson, this is just making my blood boil. Just what a scumbag. I wouldn't let him ramble like this. I'd just say, like, I don't care about fucking mice in your basement, dude. Just, why is he letting him just flap his gums like this? It's just driving me nuts.
Worse or different. It's called whataboutism. Okay? So we talk about the mouse, and you say, okay, fine, but what about farm animals, right?
He is gaslighting the fuck out of Humane Hancock. I'm convinced Neil deGrasse Tyson's a narcissist. This is so fucking manipulative.
It's called whataboutism, which completely shifts a conversation.
By the way, which is hilarious because he's been doing this whataboutism this entire fucking time. He's been trying to implicitly suggest it's okay to eat meat because, in so many other ways, we don't consider the well-being of animals. Like, he's been doing this entire time. This guy's a gaslighting fucking liar.
We have a plant
But like the way he talks and just really brings the conversation to a halt. Imagine talking with somebody who's like, imagine this hypothetical scenario. Now, before I actually talk about what I wanted to talk about, there's this thing called an imagination, and I want you to imagine something that doesn't exist, but I'm trying to make a point. Are you following me? Like, do you really need to fucking do this? I think people can understand fucking hypotheticals. We watch anime. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, as if people can't comprehend fantasy ideas. Oh my god, just, like, the patronizing bullshit coming from this guy.
Then plant.
Yes, dipshit, because it's not sentient. And by the way, he's violating his own fucking reasoning. His hypothetical proposed a sentient plant species observing non-sentient plant species getting eaten. And then, out of this, he's claiming it's like some act of fucking moral hypocrisy or chauvinism or something that we eat plants when they feel like he's literally violating his own fucking beliefs by saying this. He recognizes that plants aren't sentient. That's why specifically in his hypothetical, he mentions an alien sentient plant species. What a dickhead.
I've not used the word sentient this entire time.
What? What? He did. He did. He's lying. Oh my god. Let's rewind, you fucking lying jackass. Okay.
So here we are with the sentient alien. So imagine an alien that is completely
There he goes.
a plant. It's a plant, a sentient plant. Just imagine.
I didn't use the word sentience this entire time. What a lying jackass. So he see what he tries to do? So he's trying to get across the idea that, oh, well, plants have feelings too, and we kill and eat them, so therefore it's okay to, like, kill and eat animals. And then, in his hypothetical that he created, he specifically outlined that, you know, if there was a sentient plant species, and then he made this hypothetical about, oh, them being horrified, seeing other plants get eaten. Then when Humane Hancock, like, talks about how this would be completely disanalogous, it wouldn't really make sense, like, the moral concern, because they're like, the aliens are sentient, the plant aliens, but the plants we eat are not sentient. Then, in order to, you know, progress this idea that, like, oh, well, plants have feelings, he then lied about ever mentioning a sentient plant species in his hypothetical, and he just assumed, and it was just assumed, that all plants have feelings. This guy is such a lying scumbag. Oh my god. He literally just said it 2 minutes ago. Oh, I hate him so much.
I think nature cares more about the tree than your mouse.
Okay, Neil, show me who nature is. Show me, who's nature? Where does nature live? Does nature have an address? Can I send nature mail? What he said made no fucking sense. How can a fucking concept that does not exist in reality, the concept of nature, have an opinion? It's not a real thing. It's not a person. It's not a consciousness. It's a concept that you fucking created in your dumbass head. What the oh my god, he's just so frustrating. Like, just listen to how ridiculous this conversation is. You have Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about carrots, mice, and trees. Like, just shut the fuck up, dude. Like, get a fucking grip. You're arguing with some guy who has 20k subs on his YouTube channel trying to justify your bad habits of meat eating, and you're going on and on and on for like, what, 30 minutes now about mice and trees? Like, he really needs to fucking get a grip. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit more.
Analogous.
Well, it's certainly been a very interesting and engaging conversation.
That was not an interesting conversation. You should just stop doing this. It was dumb as shit.